You are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, and you know what those days mean. It's time for another AEW Event Center report for either Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision. And now, here is the host of the AEW Event Center Wrestling Report, New Bedford's version of Tony Schiavone, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 1769. Good morning, 9:06 a.m., October 27, 2024. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And we're going to talk about what happened last night in AEW Collision. Now, AEW Collision, they kicked off the show with the footage that went... the footage that was off the air from Dynamite this past Wednesday, and Daniel Garcia was seen chatting with, talking to Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy started snapping at, Daniel Garcia. He said, "I will address this," and we never seen Orange Cassidy that animated. Ever since his AEW debut, we never seen Orange Cassidy this animated. He was really upset. He was distraught, and and everybody tried to calm him down. He says, I will deal with it this Wednesday." And as Chuck Taylor was taken out on a stretcher, as you know, Chuck Taylor is now working as a backstage producer for AEW. So this could bring out more of a dimension, another dimension to the character of Orange Cassidy that we never seen before. I'm kind of interested now. Instead of like hands in his pockets, yeah, whatever, trying to be like the Fonz and all that. But at the same time, this brings out a whole new dynamic to Orange Cassidy. This whole thing with Jon Moxley, the Black Bull Combat Club, and such. Meanwhile, Jay White of the Bang Bang Gang went one-on-one with the leader of the Shane Taylor Promotions. That will be Shane Taylor himself. Lee Moriarty gets involved during the matchup, but Juice Robinson decided to get at him. And Jay White ends up winning the matchup. Meanwhile, Jay White grabs the microphone addressing the Cedar Rapids crowd where Collision took place. And he's decided to challenge Adam Page to a matchup at Full Gear, November 23rd. The day after the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection comes out as a physical copy, November 22nd, which is not that far away if you think about it. As you know, we're in the stretch of the final week of October going into November. The majority of this week is still October. The first 5 days, from Sunday to Thursday, is October. But then this coming weekend will be November. Lots of stuff going down. As you know, this coming Saturday, Crown Jewel is about to happen. A lot of matches are happening and all that, but we'll get there when we get there. And so we'll see what happens. Lexi Nair interviewed Ricochet, and Ricochet still has his sights set on becoming the AEW International Champion, going against Konosuke Takeshita. We don't know when that match will happen. Leo Rush interrupts Ricochet and understands where Ricochet is coming from, and this is going to be a heck of a matchup. A lot of people want to see this matchup: Ricochet versus Leo Rush. Lexi Nair, the woman's work has been done, interviewing the newly shaved Kyle Fletcher. As you know, Kyle Fletcher, ever since he got his haircut, he did a local news report, I think from Iowa. Not a local weather report. Wrestlers on the weather. It's going to be raining over here. Gee, I could see them like going into a promo or something like that. You know what's going to be raining? Some pain. I get a kick out of wrestlers trying to do the local weather news. I can see him go over here. I was like, you New Englanders have it crazy over here, man. I was like, what do you mean? I'd be like, what do you mean? Hey, it's like 70 degrees one minute and it's like 40, the high is 40 the next day. No wonder you guys get sick so much, get colds and all that. Yeah, I would tell them. I would tell someone to wrestle. The New England weather does not want to make up its mind. It wants to keep going. The New England weather is like Senator John Kerry, flip-flop, you know. They're flipping and flopping. It's like 70 degrees. Like the highest will be like 70, 80 degrees one day in October. And then all of a sudden, whoosh, we go down to like the 40s and 30s and all that. Like, you feel like saying, Lord, can you make up your mind which direction you want to go in with this thing? Anyways, Kyle Fletcher talked about Will Ospreay a little bit. And Penelope Ford, first time in 2 years, returns to the ring. Went up against Robin Renegade, and Penelope Ford wins the matchup. And then Jamie Hayter was watching the matchup in the back, decided to challenge Penelope Ford to a matchup. and she hopes that Ford will be there. Lexi Nair interviewed FTR and the Outrunners, who are getting ready. Outrunners were getting ready for that matchup against the MXM Collection. The Outrunners, Turbo Floyd, Truth Magnum. These like FTR and the Outrunners have some kind of a formed bond. I think FTR admired the Outrunners for their old school ways. You know, being like the 80s and all that, and FTR kind of admire that. So, FTR runners, as they call themselves. The Outrunners went up against the MXM Collection, and a lot of antics, including the duck season, rabbit season routine joke that got Mansoor off guard. And but the Outrunners win the matchup, but Johnny TV was watching the match in the back. Is Johnny TV admiring MXM Collection for the looks because Johnny TV is a handsome looking dude, or does he like the old school antics of the Outrunners? Let's see where Johnny TV lies winning. He is a former 3-time tag team champion in the WWE with Joey Mercury as part of M&M, managed by the lovely Molina, who I had the honor, and along with my Rant and Rape colleagues, Jordan Little, Brandon Martin, and the Doc, Greg Little, Jordan's dad, had the honor of interviewing. In fact, the entire Little family had the honor of interviewing Molina, talking to Molina last year. That was a great moment for me. It's on the 200th episode of the Rant and Rave podcast. That was really cool. And Nigel McGuinness had a sit-down interview with Will Yuta, asking why did he do what he did. It seems like Nigel McGuinness, says that he wanted to do it in an honorable fashion. But he was talking about how, Will Yuta was talking about how you were doing it and you were obsessed with him and all that. Yeah, but I want to do this in an honorable fashion. The way you did it was not. It was like Nigel McGuinness kind of questioned Wheeler Yuta for once, and Nigel McGuinness, I'm starting to think that Nigel McGuinness is was acting like an unbiased journalist at that time last night. So I think I gotta respect Nigel McGuinness for that. And Nigel McGuinness is telling me, Yuta, you realize what you did. It's like, and I think that's the only difference is, I think Nigel McGuinness wanted to do it the honorable way in the ring, while Willie Yuta just decided to attack, which is really, really bad. And Jake Roberts and La Facción Ingobernables was addressing FTR and how they're going to beat FTR. Ricochet went up against Leo Rush, and after a great high-flying matchup, Ricochet ended up winning that matchup. And Lexi Nair interviewed, that's it, that's right, the lovely Harley Cameron. And she had face paint on in the form of a cat. And I have to admit, she looks pretty cute with that on. She's like, I don't know, all that. I mean, she's pretty hilarious. A lot of people have been loving on Harley Cameron as of late, and like I said, I knew it all along. Harley Cameron's not only beautiful, she's mega talented. All she needs to do is improve her in-ring skills, and I think you might see a future world women's champion next year. I think Harley Cameron may end up holding some gold by next year. It could be the AEW women's title, it could be the Ring of Honor women's title, or even could be the TBS championship. Either way, Harley Cameron, if she keeps up, I think towards halfway the end of next year, possibly the fall of next year, she might be holding some gold in AEW. I'm going to predict that right now. That's how good the woman is. She's very multi-talented. Like I said, the only thing she needs to improve, keep improving on is her wrestling skills. Once that happens, bada bing, bada boom. I think Harley Cameron will be sporting gold around her waist. And she was talking about, Thunder Rosa, and then Thunder Rosa interrupts her, scaring the what's at her. And she's challenged Harley Cameron to a match this coming Saturday on Collision. Would be the Day of the Dead match. We don't know what kind of match that is, but we're going to find out come this Saturday. And Lexi Air interviews the Undisputed Kingdom and the Beast Mordos, and they're trying to bribe him to leave LFI and join up with them. So they're bribing him with burgers. Boy. So there's that. Deal. Anna Jay went one-on-one with Viva Van. Anna Jay's got herself a women's title shot against Mariah May. And Anna Jay ended up winning the match. Mariah May addresses Anna Jay, saying that she'll claim to defeat the title. But defeat Anna Jay to keep her title. But you got to remember in the back of her mind, too, Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa, what are they up to? Does Mariah actually know they actually joined forces up in Japan? Who knows for sure? And believe me, we'll find out sooner or later on that endeavor. Adam Cole and Buddy Matthews were discussing their matchup for next week. Adam Cole's first match back in months. And then, Buddy Matthews wanted to test Adam Cole. Lexi Nair interviewed Kyle O'Reilly and Tomohiro Ishii. And Kyle O'Reilly, says that he's fine with the conglomeration for the time being. Then the main event. FTR versus La Facción Ingobernables, Rush and Dralistico, backed up by Jake the Snake Roberts and the Beast Mordos. Mordos gets involved during the matchup, but then FTR did pick up the victory, though, with the Shatter Machine. Then Beast Mordos attacked him after the matchup. Then the Outrunners came to FTR's aid, and they stood tall in the ring doing their handshakes and all that, and that is how we ended. So, that is all the time that we have. Like I said, tonight is Halloween Havoc. I'm sure Brandon Martin will probably be doing that, live reacting to it. Also, I think I'll be live reacting to the Patriots game today. I don't know if David's got all that set up yet. If not, it's okay. I'm good with it for now. So, thank you for tuning in, folks, and I will see you on the next episode 1769 of the show. Like I said, next episode we'll talk about what happened on Halloween Havoc. Possibly tomorrow. Who knows? Until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.